attention for just a second, please. My mother wants a photo with you. I said, okay, un segundo, por favor. Let me just say it again. El gobernador del estado de Nueva York dobló el salario mínimo de $7.25 a $15. He doubled the minimum wage from $7.25 to $15 an hour. Aprobó la ley más poderosa, más fuerte contra las armas. Supported and passed the toughest gun law in the whole country. Aseguró que nuestros jóvenes tengan acceso a las universidades totalmente gratis. He has ensured that our young people get to college without paying 1 cent. Ha combatido a Donald Trump y al gobierno federal en defensa de los inmigrantes. He has fought the White House and everything coming from Washington in support of immigrants. Fue un hermano con la hermana isla de Puerto Rico en su peor momento. He was a brother to our sister island of Puerto Rico in its worst moment. Y hoy va a anunciar la apertura de un centro cultural en el puente de Washington para que nuestros hijos sigan el legado de nuestra cultura, nuestra historia, el folclore, toda la literatura, todo lo que es importante de ser dominicano. Everything that's important about being Dominican, the arts, dance, folklore, history, literature, all those things that are important to us will be taught in that cultural hub that the governor will open up right at the gateway of New York City at the George Washington Bridge. He is a friend of the Dominican Republic and Dominicans, a million Dominicans in New York City. And that's why I'm standing here to support his re-election. I give you the governor of the state of New York. I give you the governor of the state of New York. I give you the governor of the state of New York. Andrew Cuomo.
To our trailblazer, our champion, the man who led the way for the Dominican Republic and the Dominican community in the state of New York, Congressman Adriano Espaillat. We are so proud of him, and we're so proud of what he did. He worked with my father years ago, Mario Cuomo. You remember Mario Cuomo? My father loved Adriano, and he loved what he represented, and he loved the Dominican community. And New York and the Dominican community have been working hand in glove for 30 years to bring more Dominicans to this state so they can flourish, because the better the Dominican community does, the better New York does, and New York would not be New York without the Dominican community. I want to recognize our great Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, who's here. Our great Speaker of the Assembly, Carl Heastie, who's here. It has been such a pleasure for me to watch the Dominican community grow in New York. We're talking about 10,000 marchers today. I remember when almost the whole Dominican community wasn't 10,000. We're now 828,000 Dominicans in the state of New York. We have half the population of the nation, and I welcome more Dominicans to come, because the more Dominicans who come to New York, the better New York is. And I've loved watching how the Dominican community has excelled. You look at the leadership in this state, you see the Dominican community represented in every area of New York State, in healthcare, in government, in finance, in community relations. The Dominican community has thrived in New York. What they've done for the business community is extraordinary. And I just want you to take three quick points. One, 1998, there was Hurricane Georges that hit the Dominican Republic. I was working for Bill Clinton, the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. The Dominican Republic needed help. Bill Clinton was the president. He sent me down. He sent the team down. We worked with the Dominican Republic hand in glove for months to rebuild the Dominican Republic. Why? Because that's the American way. When a friend is in trouble, you step up and you help. And it was my pleasure and my honor. And it was my honor to work with great Dominican Republic leaders like Hipólito Mejia and Leonel Fernandez. Look at what we did there. And then look at what we did when Puerto Rico needed help. American citizens, we abandoned them. We don't even know how many people died. That's not America. That's not America. Second, you see what Trump is doing on the southern border, where they're trying to stop people from coming into this country. They wanted to build a wall. They couldn't get the wall, so you know what they did? We don't have a wall, they said, but if you come here, we're going to take your children from you, and you may never see them again. We're going to treat you inhumane. He said, I can't get a wall, but I'm going to set up a gauntlet so nobody wants to come. That's not just the southern border. And it's not just Mexicans and South Americans. He doesn't want Dominicans. He doesn't want new immigrants. He wants to close the gates and says, nobody comes in. Nobody comes in. That's not just anti-New York. Because if nobody came in, there is no New York. I came in, my grandparents, poor Italians, they would never get in if you had a scorecard judging wealth and contribution. New York is New York because of immigration. America is America because of immigration. And what Trump is doing is anti-American. It is anti-American. And we have to stand up and we have to stop it. And New York has to take the lead. Because no state knows better than New York what immigration means. We are 18 million people. We are 18 million immigrants. And while the rest of this nation stays silent, we have to stand up and lead the way and say we're not going to let Trump do this to America. New York will do something different. And last, as a tribute to the Dominican community, the congressman had a great idea. We're doing the transformation of the George Washington Bridge train station. And it's been going on for years and it's going to be beautiful. The congressman's idea was we should have an education and cultural center for the Dominican community in Washington Heights, in that George Washington Bridge train station terminal. And they've been going back and forth for a lot of years. There was no resolution. Today, we're going to celebrate as we march